Hi everyone, Bernard here. I hope you're all very well and please welcome to my movie and TV channel with all the latest reviews on movies, TV, drama, some quizzes as well on there, and some board games as well. So please, if you've not been on here before, please push that old subscribe button and push the bell notification so you know these vlogs are coming out. It's a movie review we're looking at today. Quite a gritty one based on a true story. Unusual title. I mean, there is a reason behind the title. A couple of people said they don't understand the title, but you can find out if you have a look around. And it's called Sulphur and White. It's a 15 rating, 2 hours and 1 minute, 121 minutes, so it is quite long. And it's a true story drama, biographical, about city trader and mountaineer. That was later in life. David Tait, played by Mark Stanley in this film, is a man whose professional success masks a series of traumatic secrets. Yeah, he works obviously on the stock exchange, but obviously his past isn't very pleasant to say the least. It's directed by Julian Gerald, written by Susie Farrell. The film also stars Anna Friel, Doug Ray Scott and Emily Beecham. Of course, David Tait, if you do know anything about David Tait, he's raised over £1 million for the NSPCC with climbing Mount Everest. I think he's climbed it 5 times as I'm recording this. I mean, why? I don't know. I wouldn't mind having a go, but I don't think I could get quite up there at my age now. Is the film any good? This is it. Well, it's hard with these sort of films, isn't it? Because it is a very, very gritty film, very powerful film. But there's a lot of, let me have a look, a lot of skeptics, a lot of low scores out there for it, which I think is a little bit unfair considering the subjects. I know you can't just give something a good score because it's about a really gritty, powerful, sensitive subject, but it did seem a little unfair. Rotten Tomatoes, it's got a 56% overall positivity rating, which isn't great, and that's based on just 9 critics' reviews, 5 fresh and 4 rotten, so very, very mixed. And again, on Internet Movie Database, it's very mixed as well. With 105 scores been left, it's only scoring 5.3 out of 10. Which again isn't great. I mean, I've actually looked, I was going to, as you know, I usually quote from the sort of reviews on Internet Movie Database, but they're all sort of more or less 10 out of 10, as I said. And you know, if you watch this, you know, I feel a bit as though the sort of ringers are people who've perhaps been involved in the production, etc., who give stuff 10 out of 10. So I sort of tend to ignore it. So I'll just go on straight to my rate, because obviously with an average of 5.3, obviously with those 10 out of 10s I've seen on the reviews, a lot of people have left a lot lower scores. Yeah, it's a gritty subject of child abuse and the effects on an individual in later life. And of course, as you know me, I like to watch a film to be entertained, and it's a bit dubious calling this entertainment because of the subject matter. But Sulphur and White does an okay job presenting this harrowing tale, but it's, as I say, it has been greeted with quite a mixed response from the public and critics, not just the critics, the public as well. It's told through flashbacks back to his childhood in South Africa, and the lead, David Tait, is an adult. He's sort of fairly unlikable, obviously played by Mark Stanley, of course. Mark Stanley is the character who plays David. He's not very likable. If you hadn't seen obviously these flashbacks, you would sort of just probably turn off because he's an obnoxious, not a nice person at all. But obviously, as you can see from early on, the reasons for this, not too graphically portrayed. There's some nice shots, some not nice, it's a horrible word to use for these sort of things, some superbly powerful shots made to sort of get things over, especially the butterfly element, which is actually explained in the film, but that's a fantastic shot. But I'll talk about that later with the poster. So you know the reasons why he's probably grown up like this. So but it is hard to be sympathetic with him because he's not a very nice man. And one of the critics actually commented on that he sort of ruined it for him because he couldn't really stick up for the guy because he was such a horrible character. But you've got to give him some leeway considering what he went through when he was young. I mean, the main problem for me was that there's the length of what we get. I mean, it's over 2 hours, and if there'd been more about, for instance, Tait in South Africa, his early life, obviously what we did see was pretty harrowing, so perhaps we didn't want any more. But there'd been more perhaps about his NSPCC work, because that was only touched upon at the end of the film. If we'd seen that, yeah, 2 hours probably would have been fine. But based on what we saw, there's a lot of filler in there. It wasn't exactly a great watch. I think the story could have been told a lot better, and given us, the watchers, the viewers, a better connection all the way through with not just his character but the other characters as well. And there is certainly a sort of lack of depth in the characters as well, I think, including the character of David Tait. It sort of lets the movie down slightly. Of course, there are some powerful scenes, but I think the problem is those powerful scenes sort of make it all worthwhile watching it. But sometimes things are so dull that you sort of perhaps glaze over and might even miss them, because obviously there's certainly elements in the film that are outstanding, that sort of just very poignant, very, very. But obviously, as I said, you've probably glazed over and got a little bit bored, and you might miss them if you're not very careful. Actors, I mean, the actors did a great job, especially Mark Stanley. But I'm going to give a special shout out to the two lads who played the young versions of Tait in the thing, Hugo Stone and Anson Boone, but played the 10-year-old versions and the 15-year-old version, I think, of Mr. Tait in this. And obviously a special mention for Doug Ray Scott, who does a wonderful, wonderful role as the evil father in all this, the patriarch, who's obviously the real hub of the problem. And in fact, I actually cheered aloud. I was sat watching this on my own. I actually cheered aloud near the end when this guy, I'm not giving too much away, when this Doug Ray Scott was pushed through a glass door. I actually cheered, which, just sort of, so it did get to me, didn't it? I hadn't glazed over by then. I enjoyed that. Yeah, so it is, overall, summing up, a good, solid, gritty, powerful film. If you like a good gritty drama that's perhaps, there's not too much action in it, but if you like sort of relationship problems, etc., and obviously a subject matter, just read up on it first and watch the trailers. That'll give you a better idea. Obviously, I don't want to say too much. It wouldn't be everyone's cup of tea, unfortunately. It is a solid, gritty film, just let down by unnecessary filler sometimes. I think it could have been done a little bit better. I think the screenplay could have been a little bit tighter. Say it was too long for what we got, and it could have been a bit more informative as well, and without losing the or even adding to the power of the film itself. But still well worth a watch. The Internet Movie Database, 5.3 out of 10 is a bit low for me. I think that's a bit cruel, to be honest with you. It's far too low. I'm not going to go mad with my score. I think it's one of those films that some people could possibly turn off. As I say, it is quite long, and it doesn't quite get to the meat of it as quickly as perhaps you'd like. So some people may get a little bit bored with it, unfortunately. So I'm going to give it my watchable rating. I'm going to give it my solid watchable rating. I nearly give it a 6.5, but I'm just going to give it a 6 out of 10 because, as I said, I think it could have been done a little bit better. But for that content, and it's sort of thing where I want to go out and find a little bit more out about this guy now. But I said that could have been added to the film as well. The last 10, and just a nice 10 or 15 minute section or something like that would have helped. From obviously we'd seen the bad side of this guy. It's a great opening. It's a cracking opening sequence to this film, and then you saw I'd forgot the opening by the time we got to it appeared again, obviously well into the film. I'd almost forgot the opening because not I was going to say because I was bored, but obviously, as I say, it did seem a long time, unfortunately. The poster, yeah, 6 out of 10. The poster, yeah, as I said, with the butterfly element there and the imagery on there, I think that's really good. It's great imagery. I just think it is. It's especially with the sad link in the film, which if you watch the film, the link with the butterfly in there as mentioned in the film. I think there's great imagery on that poster, and I do like the poster. So I'm going to give the poster 7 out of 10, which is quite good for me. I mean, Posts don't usually score that highly from me, do they? But there you go. So that's Sulphur and White, 15 rating. I think you can download this at the moment. Just check your subscription sites, etc. on this one, and I think it's out to buy from, I think it's out to buy now, or it's out to buy from next Monday, which is the 21st of September. So check that. I think it's out to buy then. Anyway, thanks for watching this. Please check my links on screen now. And if you follow and friend me on Facebook and Twitter, I will check every couple of days and follow and friend everyone back. And I post stuff on there that I don't necessarily do vlogs on, and some information. So it's try and impart some knowledge and share some fun items on there as well. And please, if you can get onto my little channel, moviegamenostalgia.com, for old rare DVDs, movie posters from the 90s and 2000s and board games, that'll be absolutely fantastic. And if anyone's interested in football that you know, please point them in my direction. I do little vlogs on Manchester City, the Citizen channel I call it, and it's about City past and present, so that's much appreciated if you can do that. Anyway, thanks for watching today. Please, whatever you're going to do with the rest of the day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your family. More importantly, let's all look after each other. And all I can ask for you to do is please stay safe, everyone, till I meet you again on another little vlog, a review, or a information vlog, or a quiz. Please take care of yourselves. Further saying goodbye for now. Bye-bye.